Hollerin with Hollenbeck.
Holleback. Joey Hollenbeck.
All right. Well, we got another episode of Holler with Hollenbeck. We've got your friend and mine, Joey Hollenbeck. I'm telling you guys, this guy could run through a brick wall at any moment.
Why?
You just look it.
No, I'm happy.
No, that's what I'm saying. You look good.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you look like a number one stunner.
For real.
For real.
Is that how you say it?
A number one, yeah, for real. Okay. Hashtag it though. Hey, you were telling. Oh yeah, horny goatweed. He asked about the horny goatweed if we got how that went.
You actually took it.
Yeah. and I actually took a video of it. Yeah. And the next day I was like, I deleted the video because I felt this looks like I'm just popping pills. And no.
How many did you take? How many are you supposed to take?
I took 2. I didn't read.
Let's see.
How many you're supposed to take. It's also otherwise known as...
it says 2. Once a day. 20 to 30 minutes before a meal.
How many?
2. You're good. 2. 2 is what it was. I mean, what is it supposed to do though?
Get your.
It just is natural energy and supports sexual drive.
The funny thing about me is that I don't need no help on the sexual drive. They call me sexual, and then they do the gear shift. That's like a gun. So shift, overdrive.
Okay.
All right, we listen to Hollerin with Hollenbeck with Joey Hollenbeck. Joey, real quick, I want to kind of get you going with. And I know we just talked about horny goatweed, and then I say get you going. That can kind of go
too late.
I got some questions for you. I want you to just. I didn't tell you to prep. I need to just hit you with some warm up. So you ready?
Yeah, go.
You ready? Are you on? Are you okay? All right. Favorite 90s toy. Early 90s. I'm sure later on you weren't playing with toys, but your early 90s. Now, I can throw some at you. Nerf. Were you a big Nerf guy? Nerf football?
Yeah.
The one that whistled when you threw it?
Yeah.
The one with
I'm a little older than you though, bro.
Not much.
Yeah, the Nerf whistle football is sweet. You can throw that thing like a quarter mile.
Would
you get it wet? And that thing would retain water and have some weight to it?
Oh, yeah.
Launch it.
Super Soaker. When the Super Soakers came out,
okay.
Game changer? Yes or no?
Yeah, those are pretty sweet.
Why was it a game changer?
Because you could douse somebody.
And then you didn't pinch your finger 100 times when you tried using those cheap dollar store ones.
I mean, those are cool toys and stuff. I was more of like a Teddy Ruxpin guy.
No way. You had one?
No, I'm joking.
You had that glow? What about that glowworm thing? That was
no, didn't have that either.
What did you have? Any toy? Did you have? You know what? Did you have an invisible friend growing up at all?
No.
My name was Big Guy. He was a construction worker.
No shit.
Yeah, Big Guy. That was his name. I like Big Guy. I'm gonna hang out with Big Guy.
No, I meant like you had an invisible friend.
I did.
No shit.
I get it now. Who was your favorite Seahawk?
When I was growing up,
Was Bosworth? Was it like?
It was definitely Bosworth.
Was it?
Yeah.
Did you ever want to do the Bosworth?
I had it.
Did you really?
Oh, yeah.
Were you on the team with the little lines?
I mean, no. When I was with Seattle,
yeah.
No.
Just bring it back. So did you put the
lines
when you were a kid?
Oh yeah.
Little mullet action going too.
Always stayed. Mullet was strong.
Really?
Mean mullet.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Little fat kid.
Just the fat kid mullet.
Yeah. Legit fat kid mullet.
Do you know the fat kid? This is kind of a little older for you. I don't know, maybe too old for you. But you know, like the kid on Mike, he was on like on Heavyweights and Mighty Ducks.
Yeah, no,
and like
the red haired kid.
No, it wasn't the red haired kid. I know you're talking about the Smalls kid.
Yeah.
The other kid, he looked like maybe he's a little tanner. He was tanner. But he was chubby, and he was just caught the other day, arrested for like the 50th time.
Oh, he's like all strung out or something, right?
Out and just completely scrawny. He doesn't even look like himself. It's insane.
I don't get it.
Me neither. Yeah, he looked just. I mean, this kid was just a chunk growing up, and now he's just like a skinny ass kid or skinny ass grown up. It's nuts.
Sometimes you grow into it, bro.
I know. I guess that's true.
Sometimes you sprout up.
Yeah, I'm growing into this bald head. I'll tell you that. It's nice to see everyone else catch up.
You're crushing it. Don't look at me, bro. I got a straight full head.
I can see that.
I got a full head.
Are you starting to bald a little bit, thin anywhere, just a little bit?
No, I got a cowlick on the back, but everybody says it's a bald spot. It's just a cowlick. For real.
like right in the center?
No, off to the side.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh yeah, it's a big cowlick.
No, it's off to the. It's like over here on the left. It's on my left side.
Love it. Okay, 80s toys. Do you remember 80s toys?
80s toys?
You grew up more in the 80s, right?
Yeah. But
we had like this
toys,
like this boxer thing that you could use.
A little thumb and rock 'em sock 'em.
Yeah. We had it was like a puppet.
I had like a I had like one of those. I had like a football field that was like, I don't know, maybe like the size of like a sheet pan, maybe a little bit bigger, and you'd plug it in and like you'd put your guys on there, and it would just vibrate. It would just vibrate your guys,
and one guy would maybe get in the other way of the other guy. Yeah. We had that's an older one. That's way back in like the.
That was the most boring shit. Just a vibrating table with just like a bunch of little like cardboard things.
It's like the kids. This is like in the 60s when it came out. My parents had it. It was a hand-me-down.
No, I had it. It was brand new. I remember opening it.
The kids were like at school, and the mom was like, "Mom's gonna play Pop-O-Matic when he goes around." That's disgusting.
You're a creep.
Did you ever play the hockey where you could like have the arms that come out and spin
sticks.
and like little?
It's basically like a freaking foosball with a dome over it.
Right. Yes, exactly. And you're only one hockey guy can only go do a J and like spin.
Yeah.
Those were fun.
Yeah.
Did you ever have let's get a little sensitive here.
Hit me.
You didn't have an invisible friend, but did you have like a stuffed animal? Did you have like a blankie? Did you have like a pillow? Did you have
No, bro, I grew up hard.
Seriously?
Yeah, no, I didn't have that.
I
know of.
I could picture you like the
I legit did.
You had like the little blue blankie, and you were like,
honestly,
did you suck your thumb?
No.
Like, what did you just come out with brass knuckles on, ready to fight people? Like,
pretty much. I think so.
What was the first time? Do you remember the first time you watched a rated R movie? How old you were? Like maybe like Predator or Terminator or something like that. Like when you were like in 4th, 5th grade.
I remember like Freddy Krueger. Ooh. I didn't watch it though. I watched like first 5 minutes
and you're done.
Out. Yeah, I'm out of here.
You're like, oh, this is too whippy for me.
No, I was like scared as shit.
Bad dreams guy? Did you ever get bad dreams? You remember those lucid bad dreams?
No, not that I remember. I was a bad kid, dude. I was just like crazy.
What does this mean? Like, what do you mean by bad kid? Do you mean like you were just like?
I grew up with we had no money when I was like a kid.
That doesn't mean you're a bad kid.
No, we lived in those apartments. There's like used to be apartments. They're probably still there over by Safeway. They were like
out behind,
little lower income like apartments.
Right,
bro. I'd like wake up in the morning at like 5, whatever.
Yeah,
dark. I remember, and like just walk out of my house, cruise over to Safeway, steal a bunch of toys, walk back to my house.
Are you serious?
Yeah, before anybody was awake, until I got busted. But I was like 5 or 6 years old. You know, that's like my daughter. Dude, my youngest daughter, like, won't go in the garage without me with her.
Oh, because she thinks the boogeyman's going to get her.
No, not even that. She just
dark.
She just wants somebody around.
Yeah.
I mean, you've been to my house. It's not that scary.
It's a little scary.
Okay.
I mean, if I was a kid, it's a big house. You know,
but it's not like it's
you know, you go to the garage, there's a lot of places people can hide.
She'll do it anywhere, though.
I just think that you're so here, let me ask you this then. This makes a lot of sense. Okay, so I don't know if you've ever been to...
You ever sleepwalk?
No, but I'm a sleep talker.
I sleepwalk sometimes.
Like what? Like you just show up like...
For instance, when we were in Hotel Del the other day, I had a dream that like D, one of the guys that was with us, Mike D, was in the hallway. And so I like went out into the hallway and closed the door, and I didn't have a key to get back in. And I was just in shorts and no shirt on or anything. And I had to piss so bad. And there's no bathrooms like in the hallways in this thing. And I'm like, we're like on the 3rd or 4th floor or whatever.
Yeah.
And like I couldn't hold it. I had to go in the ice where the ice machine is, and they had like this big drain on the floor. I had to piss in the drain. Like I had to.
That does not surprise me with your bladder.
And then I couldn't get back in the room. Nobody would open the door. There was still everybody was sleeping. So the security guy was walking around, and I was just walking around in the hotel like that. And I'm like, dude, you gotta let me in my room. He's like, Okay. Yeah, we see this a lot, actually. He's like, you'd be amazed. At least you have clothes on. Like,
shut up.
Yeah, he was like, but yeah, I sleepwalk sometimes.
Wow.
It was weird.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I don't sleep. I more sleep talk. My brother is the best sleep talker. I used to work when I worked at Safeway as a high school or after high school. I'd come home at like midnight, and my brother, who was in high school at the time, would be in the top bunk, and he'd be like sleeping, and I'd come on, throw on the PS2, play some Knockout Kings or some Madden, or whatever, and Adam would he'd be like, I'd hear him be like, say something like, I don't want to do that. And I'd be like, Adam, what don't you want to do? And he'd be like, because if I do that, then I might in this. I don't want to because they're watching. And then I'd be like, what are they watching, Adam? And he'd start to wake up, and he'd be like, and you would rage. He would be like, Travis, because I did it every night. Every night he started to have a conversation in his sleep. I'd start talking to him, and then
you guys ever get in fist fights?
We talk about this. We haven't talked about this, but we do talk about this. Top 5 things about having a brother. Mm-hmm. Mine was arguing and fighting. Like that's what being a brother is. Obviously you have your traditions and this and that, but who else can you just pummel together? He pummels you, you pummel them, and then you're still cool later on.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid, like I was obviously bigger than Josh, but I'd be like so frustrated. I'd be like, all right, let's go. I'd get down on my knees and I'll put one arm behind my back. You punch me in the face first, and then I get to punch you once. He wouldn't do it.
Really? He never took the opportunity. Now, let me ask you this. I know that you had a rage because we heard the story about where he pissed you off, you chased him down, and he squealed like a pig. But my little brother, I knew how to get him going to where he would want to murder me. Did you ever have anyone that was that way where you're like, I mean, I could probably win this thing, but he's spinning around like the Tasmanian devil. I'm going to get hurt or he's going to break something.
I think that's pretty normal with like siblings regardless. Like you can know what buttons to push, and then you can just get them going, especially if like somebody's in a good mood and somebody's in a horrible mood, and you're just ready to screw with somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, it happened all the time. But there's not like one in particular like that jumps out,
Right.
But yeah, for sure.
So we don't know about some. You don't have any. You didn't suck your thumb.
No, did you?
No, I didn't. Did you ever pick your nose and eat it?
No.
Were you a booger? Were you a booger eater?
No, we've talked about this before. I'm not. I was never a booger.
Were you the kid that had your hand down your pants and it was just kind of sitting there playing with your balls all the time and like it was just natural?
I still do that.
So true. It's so true. It is so true.
It's not. Yeah, me just over here, my hand in my pants. No.
Well, not you, but I'm just saying, like, yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm a man. I'm a dude.
You're a dude. You're kind of like, I don't know. I think it's an Enumclaw thing. There's a couple Enumclaw kids that I know that I won't mention their names, and they listen to the show. Ball handlers, and just like
I wouldn't call myself a ball handler.
Like on what was that movie? Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, where John Candy says to Steve Martin, I haven't seen you play with your balls a lot. And he's like, I haven't seen as good at ball handling as the Harlem Globetrotters.
That's a good movie. That's a good Christmas movie.
It's a great Thanksgiving movie. I know you're getting at me again. So what earliest memory from when you were a kid, but we're going song edition? If you listen to like one or two, if it comes on the radio or Pandora and you're like, dude.
Steppenwolf, Magic Carpet Ride.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Just brings you right back. Like you feel like you're just a kid.
My dad had like tapes and I'd like throw them in. I liked that one. Except for the 14-minute guitar solo in the middle of it.
That's good.
It's a good one.
Mine was Let's Hear It for the Boy. Let's hear it for the baby. Let's hear it for my baby.
Favorite movie of all time is Footloose.
Is it really?
Love it. Yeah.
Favorite movie? You can watch it over and over and over?
I love it.
Why was it so good? Just the whole...
Watched it as a kid and I just kept watching it. Kevin Bacon, just like a badass.
He is.
And then Willard, when they get in those fights.
Dude, I never saw it until I was like a high schooler. Mr. Zenonian's like, hey, we're going to watch Footloose. And I'm like, what's Footloose? And he's like, dude, you have to watch. It's the greatest movie ever.
It is.
That and Hoosiers. He loved Hoosiers too.
I've only watched Hoosiers like once. And I don't even think I made it all the way through it. But I heard it's like a classic.
And they have some like you have like Gene Hackman like give like that speech.
No, it's like a legit movie. I just never like. It didn't sell me like Kevin Bacon.
What's your favorite? What's your earliest memory of like a movie or something that you would it be Footloose or what was?
Yeah, I watched Footloose when I was pretty young.
Yeah.
Footloose or Never Ending Story.
Never Ending Story was good.
It was legit till the horse got stuck in the mud. And I was
still sad.
Or that and like when the wolf's like in the cave and the eyes light up. That used to freak me out.
I like the thing where the statues would like shoot their laser eyes. You couldn't like walk through. They're like huge, one facing the other.
Yeah,
it's popping buzzes. Were you a Nintendo, Sega? What?
Straight Nintendo.
Old
school Nintendo.
Favorite Nintendo game that you remember playing all the time?
Mario, probably.
Duck Hunt, probably a little bit.
Duck Hunt, a lot. There was a golf game on that was legit, and I don't remember what it was.
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure there was.
Excite Bike was always fun.
Paperboy? Were you a Paperboy guy?
Was legit. But I had that like on what's the handheld Nintendo one?
Game Boy?
Yeah. I had Paperboy on that. I didn't have Paperboy like on the actual Nintendo.
WWF?
Probably.
Did you ever get into WWF at all when you were a kid?
Yeah, for sure.
Who was your favorite wrestler?
Back in the day?
I'm talking like 80s, 90s.
Ultimate Warrior?
Ultimate Warrior was legit. Macho Man?
Today it's Macho Man.
They also have, when I got into it.
Of course, the Hulk.
Hulk, obviously. But I
was like Hulkamania, like, what you gonna do now, Mom? Me just on the counter. What you gonna do now, Mom?
Would you do the the hand thing to your ear? Yokozuna? Was it Yokozuna or is it Yokozuna? And then Lex Luthor and Mr. Perfect, Doink the Clown, Sting. Bret the Hitman, Sting. And then when WCW and NWO.
Woo!
Oh, Ric Flair. Good call on that one.
Those guys were like WCW, right?
They were WWF, then they went into the WCW later on, and then became WCW.
Jim Hacksaw.
Duggan. Oh, yeah.
And then that guy was like, cross-eyed, came out with like a 2x4.
Yeah.
And the American flag.
He was awesome. Yeah. And then Jake the Snake.
Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Wow.
I met that dude.
What?
Yeah, I met him in Buffalo.
Did you get starstruck? This is the starstruck moment?
No, not really starstruck, but like when he used to jump off, he used to like put the horns up, you know, like the rock horns, you know, like
right.
And like we're at this Italian restaurant we used to go to, and like there's probably like 10 of us players, some of the guys' wives, whatever, and we're in this like back room, and it's like real deal like Italian like whatever, and in this room, it's like private room or whatever, and it's like wrestler photos covering the walls from the floor to the ceiling. And like this was like a spot where like the football guys would go, and like the WWF guys would go, or whatever, WWE back in the day, or
right.
whatever. And he comes in, he's like, guys, I'd like to have your attention real quick, and he's like, go around the room and introduce yourself. We got Jimmy Superfly Snuka in the house right now, and he came in and stood at the end of the table, still long haired, like
really?
He was a Polynesian dude, Samoan dude, and so he's like, and then each person introduced himself. He stood at the head of the table and just like gave each one like
a horn,
just like nice to me, like all around the table like that. But that dude used to fly, bro, from like
I have to watch
the
videos
turnbuckle. He was a freak.
Did you ever do that with your friends? Trampoline? Did you ever guys do the whole wrestle?
Yeah, of course, dude. But I was always too big, and nobody wanted to wrestle me. I was like Andre the Giant when it came to like whatever.
Andre the Giant was good.
Did you guys used to ever put on boxing gloves and just go to the deck in the backyard?
Yes, and that would be like when no parents were around.
Yeah, and we'd like beat the piss out of each other.
Yeah, and you would say like, "Hey, okay," they're like, "Don't put those boxing gloves on." Oh, we're just gonna pretend, and then they turn the you're on the corner and you just start
full blown, full tilt. We had like some old school like soft leather, like real deal boxing gloves, like back in the day. Not like the hard ass red ones that you'd think of as kids, but these were like full blown like leather,
soft leather,
like broken.
That's
in,
what
like,
we had
real
too.
deal boxing gloves, and we would like. We'd have friends over.
Shoestring it up.
You'd have friends over, and you'd like shoestring up. No like tape on the wrist or nothing, but you'd like go full tilt. You'd like people like hit the ground and stuff. Like we'd box.
But you also would be like, if someone did hit the ground, you weren't on them.
Of course, you were like, stop. Yeah,
right.
UFC.
Right. You're beating the crap out of each other like that. But it was, dude. So who would ever square up with you if you guys ever did it? would it be like, would they draw straws? Like, group. Oh crap, I got to go.
No, but I wasn't like I am now. Like, it was just like, you guys were scrappy back then.
True. Scrappy can go a long way.
For sure.
Yeah. Did you ever, who was your crazy one in the group? Like the one that because everyone's got a crazy one.
I know a lot of Cumberland guys. Primo
was a crazy one.
I'd say Primo.
Wow, I haven't heard Primo's name in forever.
I saw him not long ago. We were all at Suncadia, and we got to hang out a lot. We just happened to be there.
Yeah.
So we had drinks one night, and we reminisced, and it was pretty funny.
Wow, that's a blast from the past. That's a name. Wow.
Yeah, we went. Yeah. Probably him.
Eschpeter. Did you ever, was it Travis Eschpeter? Or was he like a year younger than you? Or
1 year older?
Older. I ran into Lillian Harjo, Eschpeter, at Maui Room this past weekend, and we talked about Griff, and we talked about the podcast, and she listens to the podcast, and then I went to go like, oh, hey, cool, and I noticed that she deleted me on Facebook. And so this was like prior, like while I'm talking to her, I'm like, hey, we're not friends. And she goes, oh yeah, I deleted a bunch of people. You probably one of it like way back a couple years ago. And I was like, oh, can we be friends again? And then she's like, sure.
She's like, sure, just request and I'll answer it when I get home.
Yeah. I don't have a computer or a phone on me. It might be a couple weeks until you forget. Have you ever deleted anyone on Facebook?
No.
You ever unfollow anyone? Just too much stuff going, and you're like, eh.
I'm sure I have. Honestly, I don't follow any of that stuff like too crazy. Like, I'll look through Instagram for a little bit, and then that's.
Were you a MySpace guy back in the day?
No, not really. Just a little bit, maybe.
I feel like you're a social guy.
But yeah, but I never got into that. I'm more face to face.
That's true. Phone call too.
Yeah.
FaceTime. You're a phone call guy. FaceTime for sure. All right, we're getting back. Let's go back in the day. I like this. I love learning about childhood and how environment shapes you and this and that. And so, you never have been beat up.
I never said that.
Have you been beat up?
Beat up?
Have you lost a fight? Not beat up. I guess that's like it's like you didn't have a good fight, but you probably lost the fight.
I've had some close fights. I don't say I lost it.
So you're undefeated is what you're saying right now.
No.
Almost 40 years old, undefeated in all fights.
No, I'm not saying that at all.
I'm impressed.
I'm not saying that at all.
I'm impressed.
I'm just saying that there's probably been a few draws, in my opinion.
Could have lost it.
Could have went either way.
Could have went either way.
Mm. But just circumstance-wise, I slipped one time in a fight, and the good dude got right on top of me.
Oh,
I slipped in the rain. I was wearing Romeo's flat bottoms.
Was this at Peak?
No.
Where was this at?
I don't know, Cumberland area or something.
Was it Primo?
No. None of us ever got in fights. We were like a pretty close-knit crew.
That's good. And then, I mean, obviously, I remember Mrs. Baker saying, were you good with Miss Baker?
Yeah, really good.
She's awesome.
Yeah, she's awesome.
I remember her saying the thing that she says at the end of every year. And she says, listen, you're probably only going to hang out. This is before Facebook, guys. Okay, this is before. Now you kind of reconnect more, but she's like, you're probably only going to hang out with 3 or 4 of your friends.
It's true. Like if we didn't stay with like Facebook and like just acquaintances and run into people, like the guys that I stay close with, it's like 2: Joe Phelps, Kevin Van Hoof.
Yeah.
As far as close goes growing up, that's
right.
It. That's probably it.
Yeah.
And obviously you run into people and whatever, and it goes right back to whatever. But as far as like calling each other and like whatever, hanging out, it's those 2 guys for sure.
Yeah. And then she also said, and you're going to have, and the average is that one person out of this class is going to die every year as well. And that freaked us out. Do you know anybody from your guys' class that has already gone that you can think off the top of your head?
I'm sure. I can't think about the top of my head. We had a thing where like I was losing a bunch of guys that we played with. Weird. I was playing in the Arena League one time, and we were playing New York, and they came to town like 2 days early, and I had a beef with their quarterback, and we were all out. This is like 2 or 3 nights before the game. I don't know why New York was even in Denver at that time. The whole team was in town already, and we go out to this place. We did something. We had like a team event or something, and then afterwards we're like, hey, let's go to this Purple Martini place, which is just like a bar club type deal. And so I'm with one dude with me, and he was like a D lineman from like Southern Cal or Florida or somewhere like that, Miami maybe. And we go into this bar, and the quarterback's there, and the quarterback like basically kind of starts we kind of start cutting it up like we're going to get into it type of deal.
Really?
And like 10 of the teammates circle me, like linemen, whatever, and I'm like, obviously I'm not going to fight half the team,
Right.
So we're like, all right, let's go. And, we hang and have another drink or whatever, and then me and this guy go. Well, to get to this place, there's escalators that go up and down, and we walk to the edge of this thing and we'll start going down the escalator. Well, the quarterback's coming up by himself, and the D lineman's like, let's roll this motherfucker. And I'm like,
wait.
I'm like, dude, this is probably not a good idea. I'm like, we're 2 nights out from the game, and this is a big game. Like, this is probably not a good idea. And I talked him out of that one. But anyways,
you guys didn't do it?
No, I talked him out of it. We should have. I wanted to, but I was like, it's probably not real smart.
Right.
Both of us just jumped to the other side of the escalator. The guys we're running with the escalator down, and he's trying to go against it. But anyways, that dude, like right after the season got over, he went home and got in a motorcycle accident and died. And then like 2 other guys that were on that team like died. It was crazy. Yeah, it was scary.
That is scary.
Scary stuff.
Dude,
that guy was like, let's roll this.
Dude,
like,
that's crazy.
We should have. He's a punk.
One thing that I was going to ask you, you said you grew up with not so much, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
When you were a kid, right? And so
5 of us, dude.
I've been to enough. I've met enough people with different types of issues, and had conversations with enough people that have issues, and they usually tell you that those that tend to overeat.
Whoa!
No, wait
a second. Where's this going?
They tend to overeat now, is because they didn't have food when they were a kid, but now they have food, and so they keep their pantries completely stuffed. Or if they weren't able to go do things like travel, they travel more. Or it's basically what you weren't able to do, you do in abundance when you get older. I'm not saying that you overeat, but I am going to ask you, as a parent, do you tend to not spoil your kids, but do you?
Yeah, I do. There's probably a downfall of mine. I do, but I try to give them things that, not necessarily things, right? But yeah, I definitely probably go overboard with my kids for sure. There's no question I do.
And is it in the back?
It's just more or less like I never had these things like why, it's the same thing as like anybody would like to supply or do whatever they can for their children, right?
Right.
And yeah, for sure. I definitely go overboard with them, like, for sure. And it's probably, I wouldn't say it's a detriment. They're disciplined. They're, what I mean? It's not like I'm just giving them a free for all or whatever, but I'll definitely spoil them probably too much. But that's just because I never, you know what I mean? Like, I got I can't say anything bad about my childhood. It was just like, we just didn't have a lot growing up.
Right.
So
that's what I'm saying. It's not a detriment to your childhood, but it just kind of shapes how you're going to do things. My dad, so I learned about my grandpa a lot more as I got older. My dad would tell more stories. And so my grandpa was a hard ass that would make my dad do everything. Uh-huh. Okay. Like, it's like, hey, you're going to go out, you're going to help me change the oil, and like my dad would be doing like the oil, like he'd be doing it all. My dad and my grandpa would be out there kind of like
you're doing it wrong,
teaching him, but yeah,
right or whatever.
I mean, it wasn't like that was a different time back then too, but like kids were more the workers. So then my dad, when I was a kid, was like, well, my dad always made me work, so I'm going to let my kid just kind of like play.
Yeah.
He could be a kid. And then he gets older, I'll teach him those other things, but I'm going to let him just enjoy his childhood.
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, I wonder what type of dad I'm going to be.
You think it switches generation to generation?
And then now I realize I just make my kids work all the time because I don't want to do anything. No, I'm just kidding. But but I do. I mean, I give them chores, but I also pay them. But and they're older now. But I kind of like to just let them play too, because I also think that maybe from your childhood you go, I did like these things that I was able to do, and you kind of like implement that as well.
It's shitty because there's no book on this, dude.
It's so weird.
It's hard. Like,
yeah.
It's hard. We have, I mean, every day is new as a parent, right?
Yeah, and then you throw in somebody else who had a completely different childhood, and then you guys are going to raise a family together.
Yeah.
And it's like, what traditions do you do? No, wait, you need to be more strict. You need to be more light. You need to be more this. And it's like, well,
we've had like many conversations about like, like just reminding each other that like, this is us. All this outside shit, everything that happened before,
right?
How you grew up, how I grew up, like whatever, that's out the window. Like this is us. This is our family. Like we got to try to figure this out on our own. You know what I mean?
Create it.
Yeah. So it doesn't mean it's easy, but
no,
still do it.
Yeah. Do you ever do you feel more sentimental now that you're an older guy with the kids and this and that? And you kind of think to yourself like. So when you read something in the newspaper or read something where something, maybe a tragedy had happened to a kid.
Yeah, it sucks.
And you're just like, even kind of brings a tear to your eye sometimes where you're just like.
For sure.
Damn, dude. Like, that sucks, man. Like,
I've always been a sentimental guy about stuff like that, though.
Yeah.
I'd always like see kids, even when I was a kid, and just be like, or like felt bad or whatever, you know what I mean? Even if it had nothing to do with. Kid might have just been pissed off, but I still felt bad for him, you know? I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Being a parent is not easy. Like you said, you don't have any instruction on it, and
even if you do, though, they're all different. Like every kid's different.
Have you learned that?
All three of mine are completely different.
What? Because I know my specific things, but what about you? Have you learned any specific things on how you maybe speak to one kid differently than the other?
Yeah, I'm still learning every day, obviously, but yeah, it's our middle one, Charlie, is very strong-willed, which is probably going to be one of our hugest assets, but it sucks when you're like trying to work with her on like whatever,
right?
And, like trying to parent and do whatever because she's like, nope, not doing it, or or whatever, you know what I mean? It's not like not necessarily chores or anything, but like more or less like
anything.
She's just strong-willed,
right?
Like going on a roller coaster at Disneyland, nope, where everybody else went on it.
So she's just stubborn.
Like straight up, like I'm not
stubborn. Not doing it.
Yeah, I guess you call it stubborn or strong-willed or whatever. Yeah.
Now, do you ever have a kid that's quits easier, or quits pretty quickly? Like where you're like, dude, you can push through this. Like you can make this, and they're like, no, I'm not. Or is that kind of how Charlie is? Or?
No, I wouldn't say she's like that. She'll work hard. It's just getting her to that point. My youngest I'm teaching, she's just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And I'm like, you just put one shoe on. You can definitely put the other shoe on. Like, yes, you can. Like, it's just more or less like reassurance,
Yeah.
And like, whatever. I'm trying to teach my oldest to like visualize and like different stuff because she's like super into basketball and like whatever.
So it's just like, picture that.
Just like extra reps and like visualizing yourself making the shot. Visualize where you got to be. Visualize this.
It don't be outside the whole, have that court awareness and all that.
Yeah.
And it's hard to teach that. I mean, I don't know. It is hard to teach that. My daughter, my middle one, my oldest one, I can tell what to do and she'll do it. My middle one doesn't want me to tell her what I want her to do. She wants to tell me what she wants to do. When she was 3 or 4, I learned this. Because I still need to get her to do what I want her to do. Like hold my hand when you're walking across, oh no, I don't want to. And what I learned was was just to ask her and say, okay, what is it that you want to do? And she would tell me, and I'd say, okay, but can I hold your hand? And then if I asked her, then she was cool with it.
How does it work when you're pissed off, though? Excuse me. What would you like me to do right now? Because I'm about ready to blow a hole in the wall. Like, how do you do that? Like, how do you switch that
I mean,
up?
there are times where you just go in there and you say, like, I'm going to, yeah.
This is what we're doing.
This is what's happening. Yeah. But the majority of the time I learned was the fastest route for her was just let her, because she's the person that needs to vocalize how she feels and vocalize what she wants. And then once she vocalizes it, she's cool. She knows that she's been heard. And then now I can just say, okay, let's do this instead. Okay. But my youngest, Jacqueline, she is like, I don't want to at all. And she will freak out and melt down. And I've tried this is a jigsaw puzzle that I'm just like, okay, first 3 were not like this. What am I going to do?
What do you do with the kids when you go to Vegas?
They're old enough.
Well, your youngest isn't.
Yeah, she's good.
Yeah, she'll stay here.
My parents, thank goodness for them, because my brother lives in Issaquah. I'd love to have him do it, but he's too far. My parents watch them, both of them are retired. I figured out a good way to get my parents to retire, my mom retire early. I came up with the plan with them in the living room, and I said, I feel so good about this, because I was like, I helped them. I'm going to feel bad if they have to go back to work when they're 75 pushing carts at Safeway, and that wasn't my idea.
You just retired. Kids are gone.
But for me, I'm like, so she got to quit her work a little bit early that she was just dreading. And then my dad, because of his cancer, he'd bounce back, but because he had a lot of chemo, you lose feeling in your feet for chemo, and so he couldn't go back. He used to work at the port of Seattle at the airport, and he was like a contractor. He'd just do whatever that they want him to do. Well, you can't carry beams, and you can't do these different jobs where you've got your feet don't work as well, and so he's on disability. But they take Jacqueline to preschool every morning, and they're already awesome with her. And so then it's just saying, hey, can she now spend the night rather than you dropping her off? Can she spend the night while we go to Vegas? And then we do that. And then they go to she goes to her mom or Jamie's mom's house for the weekend.
How many days are you going to Vegas?
Flying out Tuesday night, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday, all day Friday, back Saturday, midday Saturday.
Damn.
I love Vegas. And I don't want to talk, we talked a lot about Vegas.
Yeah, I know
but what I'm doing is I'm excited about is this is when NASCAR weekend is. Now I'm going to miss NASCAR, but I will be there when the Holler Parade comes through down Vegas
NASCAR
Boulevard.
was there last time I was there for the construction expo.
How crazy was it?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Not because of that. We weren't around it.
Yeah. And then I might go to the truck race on Friday night. I'm like, one thing that I'm just so disappointed, dude. We're talking about kid stuff, right? Okay, guys, thanks for listening. Thanks for holding to listen to all this. But here's one thing. And I talked about dreams. Joey, did you ever have the dream where you were dating your crush and you woke up and then that wasn't the case? Like when you were in middle school or high school, or maybe you had a dream that you were
no,
like you won $1 million and you woke up and then you're like, oh wait, you didn't have that.
So it's a good dream and then you wake up and it's shitty,
right?
Yeah.
I had so many dreams that I could go watch a NASCAR race and watch Casey Kane race, and then I wake up and I'm like, oh, that wasn't true, but one day I will. And then he retired, and I'm just, you just got to take that time when you're young. That's basically what I'm saying, Joey.
Dude, how many times have you been to Vegas though?
This is probably my 6th time, maybe.
They just retired last year.
Yeah, I know. So yeah, but see, I thought he was going to be racing into his late 40s. Gordon was around for a while. I thought he would be just like Gordon. Bobby Labonte.
On to bigger and better, bro.
Yeah. Well, it was just sad.
So what is your plan? So what do you do? What do you do? What do you do in Vegas for that many days?
Well, we don't have a. There's not
Gamble the whole time.
There's not going to be a pool day.
You guys going to do a beer chugging contest?
Yeah. So here's what I'm looking forward to. I've already planned out what I'm going to do. We always talk about Vegas at some point. Tuesday night, we're flying in. We're staying up till 3 a.m. We're drinking heavily, and we're just going around gambling. Maybe
is that basically what you guys do when you get there?
Yeah,
you basically blow your load the first.
We
night.
fly in.
It's
such a good way of putting it.
But you know what I'm saying? Like you basically and then you're hung over for the next 2 days, and then you fly home. It's like the worst.
Yeah, no. So Tuesday,
everybody gets there. You're so excited.
Freaking funny. So Tuesday, I'm flying in. I'm working Tuesday. I'm off at 3:30. Jumping on the flight at 6. Hitting the tarmac in Vegas at 9 or whatever, and then going to the Flamingo, and then hitting the town. I'll be drinking on the plane. I'll be drinking there, and just go out. Gamble a little bit. I don't want to go gambling hard because I want to have some money for the rest of the week. But then just sleep in Wednesday. There's no pool because it's too cold. It's out of season. So we're not going to do anything pool-ish, which we normally
Top Golf or something.
That's what we're going to do.
Nice.
We're going to go to Top Golf after the hangover wears off just a little bit. We're just going to just mellow around rather than have that pool day where you just like take your entire day to kind of recover in the sun and just lay around. We're just going to just mellow around town. And probably
you're going to start drinking again at Top Golf?
Oh, yeah.
So you go ham when you're out of town.
Are you this way? I feel like you're the same way. I can go as ham as I possibly can, and it like maybe affects me just a little bit.
Dude, I went so ham. We all went so ham in San Diego.
Yeah. And
I was fine every day. Sunday, I thought I was going to die, and then I had to fly home.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I don't know why. Because we went 3 days straight, like from the time you woke up to the time to bed.
See, that's how. And so we're getting back Saturday, and I'm going to recover Sunday. But that's kind of how I am. Like Jamie's like, dude, there's times where we'll go out on the town, eat, drink, and then come home and just pass out at 2 a.m. And I'm up at like 3 hours later, 3.5 hours later at 5:30 a.m. making coffee, cleaning the place like a meth addict. Just like it doesn't
pump
even
oxygen in there, bro.
What?
You gonna go hit a IV bar?
I've never done that before.
I did it in Nashville twice. I was there 4 days. Yeah.
Did you get the flavored oxygen?
Not oxygen, bro. IV.
Or IV. Wait, what?
Like an IV in your arm. They fully replenishes you.
What?
Yeah, like an actual IV. Like you get in the hospital and it fully type in IV.
I've never even heard of this.
IV bar Vegas. I guarantee there's 100 of them. So you go in and you can get I think it was called like a Meyer cocktail the first time I went. And it's like all your vitamins, like a B vitamin complex, and then it's like so many cc's of electrolytes, and it like fully like
it treats hangovers and vitamin D. Whoa.
Yeah.
But they prick you with a needle though.
They got to put your needle in your arm.
I can't do that.
You can if you're miserable. You can.
You can if you're miserable.
Yeah.
Dude, that's hilarious. I don't know, man. I don't like needles. I hate needles. I hate them.
I think they'll even come to you, like in your room, or they can like.
Are they stripper IV bars?
Like a bus. I've only been to one. I don't know. Not the one. I've never been to one.
And it makes you just. It's like shoving a Red Bull in your veins, though.
No, it's not. It's like one day I was like really nauseous, and they're like, I'm nauseous bad, and they're like, oh, it's okay. We'll put such and such in your IV, and it'll take it away. 2 minutes later, gone.
And they just shoot it in your veins.
It drips. It's like an IV. You know what an IV is?
I still feel like that's like I'm putting stuff in my body.
It's rehydrating you. That's why you're hungover. It's because you're dehydrated.
Why can't you just drink like an ass ton of water?
You can. It's just not as quick, and it might take a day or two.
But the IV is like An hour in,
half hour.
You're ready to roll.
I wouldn't say, yeah, you're not ready to roll, but you're a lot better than you were when you started. A lot better.
Wow. I might have to go as ham as I possibly can just so I can do the IV bar.
Do it.
You're insane, dude. I don't know if I can handle a Vegas trip with you.
I wasn't even in Vegas. I was in Nashville.
Okay, even worse. I don't know. I feel like Vegas you could probably get even like hammer than you can in Nashville, but I feel like Nashville's you could probably go pretty ham too.
Nashville's probably, I like Nashville.
Did your NFLPA card work with the IV bar? Did it get you a little discount?
Didn't use it. We went to Coyote Ugly in San Diego for about 5 minutes. Coyote Ugly sucks now.
Did you? It's not like the movie.
No, obviously not. That's where they filmed that movie, though.
Oh, was it in San Diego?
I think that's what they said. I don't remember. Maybe not. Maybe it was in.
Did you show your NFLPA card at all?
No.
How about the airport? You ever think about it doing the airport? I think that could get you to the front. You're going to be in Vegas, or you're going to be in San Diego when Mike's going to be in San Diego.
Yeah.
But I'm going to be in Vegas while you guys are in San Diego. How far away is that drive?
I don't know. Never done it.
I can shoot you a Greyhound.
Yeah. You just in, where would you go?
Maybe we'll fly over there for like early one morning. Just like, what is it? Probably $75 fly into.
I have no idea.
Head out.
Never done it.
Huh. Well, everyone, we did it. We were able to talk about Vegas. We always do. We somehow get that snuck in there. Joey, I'm excited, dude. This is probably going to be released. So this is released after you turn 40, I think. Because the 14th, wait, it's the 11th today, 13th, the one, then put add 7. 20th. Oh no, this is right before your. Okay, all right. We'll record. This is the one released right before. This is after your 40th, but right before your big bash. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to smoke those cigars, dude.
Let's do it.
What type of bar we got? You said there's bourbon, but I mean, what type of bar we got going on with that? Does it bring your own BYOB? What are we doing?
No, we'll have a couple. Probably an IPA keg and like maybe pale ale, and I'll probably do some.
Old fashions we got going on?
Yeah, but then we'll do, it won't be a full bar, but it'll be lots of different types of bourbons and probably have some mixed,
What's your favorite bourbon? I got to write this down.
I don't know, dude.
What's your favorite bourbon?
I don't know.
How was that vodka that Mike brought?
I tasted it. It's not bad.
Not bad. All right, so I'm just going to figure out some sort of bourbon. I want to bring you. Like that BSB stuff? No.
It's good.
Is
but
it too
it's
sweet?
Not like my dealia.
Too sweet?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very sweet.
Yeah.
Tastes like drinking candy. And
Too sweet for
me. Too. All right.
Thanks for having me. Listen, subscribe, tell your friends.
Tell everybody. Tell your enemies.
Subscribe, and if you don't like us, unsubscribe, and then subscribe again.
All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. Take care.
Peace.